This is Factorio, and I'm Colonel Failure. And today we're going to be looking at increasing our production in order to make sure that we can drive through to the eventual conclusion of the game relatively quickly. Our major bottleneck right now is in the production of blue flasks. This isn't. We're producing them, which is fine, but we're not producing them at the speed that I'd that I'd prefer to see. So, where are we going first? Well, blue flasks, the component parts, as you know, are smart inserters, steel, advanced circuits, and batteries. And my problem is coming in the battery department. So, batteries are feeding down this line here, which has got advanced circuits on it as well, which comes through this smart inserter, smart chest paraphernalia that we've got going on here, which eventually leads all the way back to this chemical plant, which is where we're manufacturing batteries. Now, they can only kick out at a certain speed. I've got a couple of productivity modules in there to make sure that we get bonus batteries wherever possible, but frankly, even then, it's not exactly quick. So, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make another one. We're going to double our battery output here, which we should be able to do relatively easily. So, I imagine that we're going to tax our petroleum, make that mistake every time. Hell, let's pretend it's not a mistake. We're going to tax our petroleum fuel quite heavily, which is being turned into sulfuric acid, as well, you know. So we might have to go back and look at that as well. But for now, let's crack on. What have we got here? This is a provider chest, which has got some batteries in it. Right. Well, I'll just take that with me. Thank you very much. Right. So I think we'll go. General overhaul on this front, and let's see where this leads us. So a couple of chemical plants. Let's not try and plant it on my own head. Let's get some more substations up. Since discovering substations, I now try and use those wherever possible. Yes, their individual footprint is considerably larger than a regular power line, but at the end of the day, it does supply a much larger area, so you don't have to spam power lines with quite such wanton disregard. Right, let's hook all of these up. And this, which is making... What are you making? You're making super advanced circuity thingies. Processing units. For some kind of power armor based laser system extravaganza. Can't wait. Okay, good. Right, so now what do we need? We need copper and iron. Again, should be fairly straightforward. I think we'll just we'll split this feed off, because that's obviously using the iron there to make the sulfuric acid in the first place. Where are we? I've got some splitters around here. What's wrong with it? There we go. Right, we'll split that, run it down here. Is that far enough? Yeah, that'll do. Let's get some more inserters up in this bad boy. Okay, so you are going to want to grab, and I want you to grab, stick a substation in there. Fabulous. There we go. Right. So that should be you chaps happily making me. Let's get a couple more productivity modules going, or in fact one for now. Advanced circuit supply is in short supply. Excellent. Right, good. Yes. All right. Stop randomly pressing buttons and do what you're intending to do. There we go. Get that on there. A couple of long arm inserters to grab the proceeds out. Yes, that's right. And feed onto the belt. Great. Oh, it's because you've got that facing the wrong way, you nitwit. Right, good. Marvellous. Alright, that should be doing the necessary. Oh, you haven't put the inserters on, you fool. Oh, I've got them queued up to be built. I'm still waiting for production module, productivity module to be finished. Man, you really don't want to be making those by hand. Right, okay, so I want you to grab from there and put on there, and you to do the same thing. Lo and behold, batteries. Okay, good. So with that doubling of output, we should be able to keep up with demand at least. I think we're going to have to check back to see what the actual effect is. Just make sure this this keeps up, otherwise we'll be in another situation where batteries are going past where I wanted them. But I'm pretty certain this smart inserter can keep up. Just about. No, we let 2 past. Alright, I'll go grab those. Yup. Come here. Okay. Alright, well, from now on we shouldn't see quite so many happening. And to be honest, I'm only taking plastic off here anyway, so it's hardly the end of the world if that does end up feeding into the wrong area. I could possibly put a smart inserter at the top here to grab any leftover batteries or something like that. But yeah, okay, right. Well, we'll check back to see if that's working. But the good news is we've already got a queue of batteries hitting this first blue flask building unit. So all being well, that should be enough to feed our 6 hungry research centres. Right, what next? Now, another thing I noticed recently was that the production of advanced circuits was being hampered by this this poor little fast inserter at the bottom, which just isn't getting enough copper wire. Look at it. Look, it tries for it, but the regular circuit guy grabs them all first. So we need more copper wire coming in. Now, I mean, it might look like there's a backlog happening here, and to be honest, it almost is. But not to such an extent that makes me go, well, I'm making enough of these, I clearly don't need to. So I'm going to make another copper wire centre here, which fortunately I have space for, which is odd. It's very rare that I have space to actually insert something extra into the proceeds at this stage. Right, you can grab from there, and then you can output to there. And we'll stick those on regular belts. Shouldn't be any need for them to go any faster than that. Kill you for a sec. Transformer hoe. Tell you what to make. Get to work. There we go. Alright, so now we've got another load of... And I'm pretty optimistic that that's not going to create a shortfall in the number of kind of copper ingots coming through for the rest of them. It certainly doesn't look like it is at this stage anyway. But the problem I've now got, of course, is that now I definitely am hitting a backlog. These 2 assembly machines are having difficulty placing their copper on there in the first place. So I think the solution is going to be to speed this belt up, which means I need super duper express transport belts. Ooh, okay, so these require lubricant, which means we're going to need to build this over by my oil refining area, which is a very cumbersome way to word it. I think I can probably make a belt pipeline in this area, but I'm going to need a little bit more space, so let's expand this wall out a little first, just to buy a bit more space. Pretty good. For some reason this area hasn't had any trouble with aliens so far. I don't think it's going to last. Before too long they'll just hit me wherever they can, but this area hasn't been hit by aliens at all in the short term. Actually, it'd be quite a bummer if they did hit here, because I've got quite a lot of refined materials kind of stored here. Never mind. Okay, good. So, first things first, let's get some more provider chests. Yeah, that should do it. Alright, so we're going to want up, let's start up here with our eventual target. Should we put it there? No, let's move it over one. Yeah. Okay, cool. So you're going to be blue belts. Smashing. Good. Love it. And let's hook that up to this tank area of lubricant that we've got, and that will juice you up nicely. You juicing up nicely, Ashley? I don't want to put it there. Let's rotate you around that way. Much better. There we go. Not the prettiest section of piping ever, but that will do the job. Okay, so now you need fast transport belts. So let's get you an inserter to grab from a chest. I think what I'm thinking here, and clearly I've already put some thought into this, is we'll turn this into a general supply area for belts in the event that any need replacing due to biter attack. So we'll make all belts here. I mean, obviously we've got regular conveyors being made back in the main base in order to go into flask construction, but for now I don't need to worry about that too much. What am I working on research-wise? So fundamentally, I'm just going to kind of clear the backlog of military stuff before I start to look into pushing forward in tech. I want to upgrade my my logistics team a little more. Right, good, yes, absolutely, that's what I want there. And then we'll have another provider and another couple of inserters. We don't need this to go at manic speed. I mean, I need half a dozen of those at the most in order to solve that backlog. Stick that here, making regular belts. And do it again. Quite a ludicrous chain turning up here. Okay. Alright, hold on. What are you grabbing? Oh, of course, gears. So we're going to need to make gears here as well. Alright, fine. Is that going to be the best way to do it, do you think? Because everybody needs gears, everybody needs the original belts. So let's try this and see what happens. So I'm going to want to request a Chester to get some iron over here, which is incredibly inefficient because the amount of iron that we're going to be using is going to mean that my robots are shuttling back and forth constantly. But frankly, that's what I pay them for. Let's put you all the way out here. Tell you to get iron. Okay, so bring me. Let's give you a regular stock of 100. Right, and you're going to make gears. Do I even need... I don't think I need to do this. I think we can just do it like that. You also need iron. Alright, so we split the iron feed to go in both directions. Alright. Which means I've got things in the wrong place. Right. Well, just don't panic. Where's my splitter? I just put them in the backpack. Okay, cool. Right, so split that, and we want half of it to go down to be turned into iron gears, and the other half to go into our primary belt. Initial belt? Primary belt? Belt, yeah. And let's make that go quite quick. Like that. Probably. Yeah. Okay, fine. Smashing, right. You're probably charging up already. You're at 102. Good robots. Alright, so we're going to want those to come out at a fair lick. Put that there. I need another fast inserter to make that work. inserter. You're making gears. I'm saying the same things over and over again. Power. Okay, right, so we've got gears happening. Right, that doesn't need to be a fast. That can be a regular. I want to make sure everybody has enough supplies, obviously. And then let's whap those. I want them on this belt here. So, right. If you've already made, no, you haven't made any yet. I'm gonna have to make some by hand. I hate making belts by hand. Actually, I don't, because you get 2 for 1, and therefore it's actually very little drama. Right, good. And then let's fast you. Yeah, like that. All right. And then inserter on here, which means there we go. So we've got standard conveyors being made. Let's get a couple of substations in stock. Oh, great! Making advanced circuits by hand. That's a good way to suck the joy out of your afternoon. Right, and inserter up, and you. And in theory, I think that should do it. Let's have a look. Oh no, we're going to need an exporter here. There we go. Right, let's see what happens. So I'm pretty sure this works. This will work. Pretty certain. Yeah, that could be going a bit faster. We could have a slightly better iron supply there. No matter. No matter. Right, how are we going here? What do you need? You need gears. At the moment, you're stealing all the gears, but that should only last until... See, I mean, we've almost filled that first supplier chest there. Come on. I want to see my first red belt. Because, you know, that's going to be a deeply thrilling experience. Good, so we're now seeing gears filter through to the second assembler. I like simple things. Red belts being made. There we go, and then we've got that red belt immediately got stuck into here in order to be turned into blue belts. Hooray! Well, that's lovely, isn't it? Grand. Okay, I think I need half a dozen in order to solve the problem, but I'll leave these running anyway. Let's just make sure I'm not trying to stock up too heavily. I mean, I've got the iron to be able to get this done, very obviously, but I don't want to go completely overboard with it. And, you know, I could just cheat this system and dump a bunch of gears in now just to keep it, just to get it started. There we go. I mean, it will catch up anyway. For some reason, I see that as cheating, but it really isn't. I mean, if the eventual outcome I want is to make a bunch of fast belts, then who cares what system you use? Right, 10, that's plenty. Let's go put them into action. Right, they're going to continue doing that, so I should never have a belt shortage if I ever need to replace them. And let's hope that the demonic alien scum horde don't attack in the near future. Okay, so back up here in Copper Wiresville. Right, so yeah, I mean, we've clearly got a fairly major logjam happening here. So let's stick in 2 pieces of fast belt and see what happens. Alright, well, let's freed up this machine immediately. How are we getting on and down at the bottom? Yes, we're now also providing enough copper wire for that advanced circuit maker to be kicking it out. I like it. Let's maybe stick 1 more in. It still could be coming fast around here, so What if I did that and then that? How's that? Ah, right. Okay, so good. We're now to the point where we're almost jamming this system with copper wire, which is excellent. I don't mind having a backlog further north. So up in the copper wire production area here, providing that all these machines are being supplied adequately, which well, it looks like they are. Look, there we go. We've got escaping batteries. Okay, so we ought to figure out some routing for those, I guess. All right, we don't need that bit of belt. So, do we want to route it into? No, let's just use this as an overspill. This will. I mean, obviously, I put in requests for batteries on a regular basis, so so this should service my needs. Oh, and there's just enough power there to make it work. Right, you batteries, please. All right. Don't get me wrong, you are not going to be the busiest inserter that ever lived, but you know, keep yourself amused. Good, and hopefully that should now help to look, there we go. So we're now finally building up a backlog of advanced circuits, which is great. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're not building up a massive backlog or anything. You're all happy, you're all happy. Yeah, this is looking all right. And we've got a blue flask surplus. Oh yes, oh yes. Great. I seem to recall having been carrying a few of those around, so let's get those in there. I really should put some productivity modules in here. I mean, while I haven't got a shortage of alien artifacts at the moment, I'm sure I will have further down the line. So I really ought to make these work a little harder, or at least, you know, get me more productivity. All right, good. So I think that sorts us out. Hang on, what's going on with this oil supply? Virtually empty. Ah, right. Okay, we seem to have pretty much tapped that one out, and that one, and that one. What's in the main tank? We've got almost nothing in the main tank, which is why batteries have stopped being made again. Oh, let's check our secondary oil area. Well, this is something that I hadn't counted on. Well, yeah, look, these pipes are virtually empty. Okay, right. Yes, we seem to have drained the planet's fossil fuel resource to a bare minimum. That's a problem. So I guess that dictates what we're going to do next time. Okay, stop back then, where we're going to be going for oil. Oil ahoy. Thank you very much. See you soon.